excited that you're here and you're joining me on your health and fitness journey. We are going to have so much fun working out together, eating clean, and holding each other accountable as a fit family. So first things first, you should have received a box that looks similar to this in the mail. And when you opened it, it was kind of like Christmas, right? It is always for me. So you have your shakes, your Shakeology that came in the mail. And you should have received your Portion Fix guide. So I'm going to set that aside here, and these portion containers. And if you received workouts, you got those in DVD form in there, or if you have the All Access Beachbody On Demand, you can access those online as well, and I'll teach you how to do that later. But okay, so what are these containers? How do I make these shakes so they taste good? And what is this booklet about? We're going to cover all of that here. Okay, so I have some notes here to my side, to my right, so I don't forget anything, because I want to make sure I give you guys all the tips and all the resources that you need. So let's get started. Why do we need a nutrition plan? We're all on this health and fitness journey to become the best versions of ourselves. So why is nutrition so important? Most studies show that nutrition is over half of our fitness level. So I know when you go out to a restaurant, normal portion sizes are nowhere near what they actually should be. So we're going to talk a little bit more about what that looks like, and these containers really help solve that problem with how much you should be eating, how much protein do I need, how many vegetables do I need to be eating today. We're going to figure all that out right now. So join me, get your packets out, and we're going to go through this together. So grab this out. Yours may not look the same. I have this 21-day fix. You may have Core de Force. You may have all the different workout programs have a different eating plan. So grab whatever one that you have, and we'll go from there. So open up to page 1. Step 1 is to calculate your calorie intake. So you're just going to go through here, and you're going to do the simple math and figure out which plan that you fall under. For me, right now, I fall under Plan A, which is the target of 12 to 1,500 calories. So I know that once I've entered in all this information, it gives me how many containers I need to eat per day. So that helps me on my first step. We're all different. I know men and women vary differently for sure on these plans. So step 1, figure that out, okay? Figure out which plan you're on. Step 2 is so now you know how many containers you're supposed to have per day. What goes in each container? How do I figure that out? You'll want to get your plan back, your booklet back out, and just read a little bit further. So we know that veggies are green. So it'll give you a list here on all the different vegetables that you can eat. And a quick side note, some vegetables don't fit easily in these containers, so they populate it for you. So asparagus, I mean, you could cut it up and put it in there with a lot of work, but 10 asparagus equal 1 green container. So it goes through the top foods on what would work in those containers. So just go through that there. If you are not a paper person, for me personally, I use the app on my iPhone, and you can just go to the App Store, and also they have this if you have a Android, and you just look up the 21-Day Fix original app, and it will give you all this information on all different kinds of foods that go in the containers as well. So green is veggies, purple is fruits, and red is protein. So I'm not going to go through all of these. You can go through here and get familiar, read what's on there. At the very top is the healthiest things you can eat, and at the bottom is the least, kind of organizes by healthiness on what you should eat. So there's that. This is also in the app on your phone if you're not a paper person, okay? And all of these guides, if you're mixing up your program, your workout programs on Beachbody On Demand, every workout has its own eating plan. So you just download those guides and how many containers, recalculate how many containers you can have, and go from there. Okay, so now we know how to calculate our calories, what the containers are, what we can fill them with. So now what? How do I, work all of this out so I make sure that I'm keeping track every day? In your packet in the back, there's going to be a tracker, a paper tracker, and you are more than welcome to, pull that out and I'm trying to find mine here, and pull that out and each day mark what you're having. For me, I am not a paper person. I will lose it. So I just use the app and it auto-populates my calorie level, and then I just type in, okay, for breakfast I had eggs, which is 2 reds, I had some spinach, which is 1 green, and I put a teaspoon of olive oil in there to saute it up. So I know I'll go into my app and I'll say, okay, I had 1 green, 1 red, and 1 teaspoon. And that's how I figure that out. And the fix doesn't come with the teaspoon, so you can just use your own. So now we know kind of what our container's in. So now we just need to take time and go through and figure out, okay, what do I want for breakfast? So in the next video, I'm going to talk to you about how to figure out how to create a meal plan. I personally make my own meal plan and I share it with you guys in the file section of the app. But we may be different. You may not like the same foods that I like. You may not, you may be able to have more containers or less containers than me. So I'm going to teach you how to make this work for your life. But I'll also, just as a starting point, I know it's nice to see something, what other people are doing. So I make that for you and give you a shopping list so that if you don't have a lot of time, you can just go off that. And then if you could have more containers, you just add more in to my plan, or what have you. Another thing that I do is I go to, if you have Beachbody On Demand, I go to the Fixate portion of that, and I find they have recipes on there, they have shopping lists, they have videos on how to make the meals, and another resource that I use is a Beachbody blog, and they have tons and tons of meal plans on there that all focus around the portion fix system and how many you should have a day, how many are in there, what each recipe is for the container. So it makes your life a lot easier. And the final thing I do is Pinterest has tons of awesome stuff. And I'll go on there, so if I know I want chicken parmesan for dinner tonight, I will go on there and I'll find a 21-day fix. I'll type in the search bar, 21-day fix chicken parmesan, and several items pop up, and I know how many reds, how many greens, how many oranges, and all of that come in that recipe. So that helps kind of plan for my day. So those are just some things that I do. But in the next video, I'm going to teach you how to create a meal plan that works for you. And you don't have to always follow mine. I know in the past, I've always just created my recipe plan, but I found that, that's great for 1 month, but what do I do the next month when I don't want to eat the same things that you eat? As long as you're following and filling up these containers, this program is created by the top scientists and top nutritionists in the country. So as long as you're filling these with the right foods and making sure you're eating enough and not too much, perfect portion sizes, I know you're going to see the results that you're wanting to get. So stay tuned for the next video, and I just can't wait to get started with you guys.